In this video, we're going to read measurements from micrometers, and specifically one that is an inch-based micrometer. So first of all, I have this image here of the different divisions or tick marks, you can call them, along both the sleeve and thimble of a micrometer. And we're told that along the sleeve, the digit is 1/110 of an inch. So that digit right there is 1/110, or in other words, 0.10 inches. And then these smaller divisions, these smaller tick marks here, are each 25 thousandths of an inch, or in other words, 0.025 inches. And I like that this image points out the decimal values here for inches, just because, as you probably have seen in working with other examples, it's a little bit easier to work with decimals than fractions sometimes. And then along the thimble, this is the piece that would rotate, the divisions are 1/1000th of an inch. So 0.001 inches is what these tick marks represent here along the thimble. And a little bit more detail we see from the textbook. This is page 143. How to read a micrometer. So what we're going to do here is use these steps that we see here for this example that is in my math lab assignment. So again, you might want to have this image handy from page 143 that outlines the steps along with some images for this particular example to apply to the examples that you're doing in my math lab. So it says we'll start with reading the largest numeral visible on the sleeve, and we're going to multiply that by what its worth is, which is 0.1 inches. So like in their case, the largest number visible here is 4, and so they did 4 times 0.1. In our problem, let me bring up my pen here. All right, so in our problem, we have this 2 is the largest numeral visible on the sleeve. So that first step we're going to do is take 2 and multiply it by 0.1 inches. I'm going to just use the inch symbol. Now you'll notice in the text they do go a little bit further with 0, 0, and that's for significant digits. So I guess technically let me do the same thing here. And we get the following in inches. The next thing we want to do is read the spaces that are left along the sleeve. So these are the additional spaces beyond the 2 mark, which again is right here. And I see one full space, this right here. Okay, that area is one full space. I'm going to take that one space and multiply it by its value, which remember was 0.025 inches, which that's a pretty easy thing to multiply. Now, there is a note in the text to make sure that you only multiply the full spaces, because that little sliver of a space there is what we're trying to figure out next. Okay, so we're not going to count that space whenever we count the number of spaces here in step 2. So for step 3, we read the number on the thimble scale opposite the horizontal line on the sleeve. So here's the horizontal line on the sleeve. That would make this the number on the thimble scale. And if I look along this thimble scale, I'm going from 10 to 15. So that must be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So in other words, my number, the number I'm desiring to pluck from this thimble scale, is a 12. And I'm going to multiply that by its value, 0.001 inches, which would be the following. Okay, and then the last step I want to do is take these values here and add these together. And the sum of these products, and we say they're products because we were multiplying here. So the sum of these products will give us the measure on the micrometer. So let's do that. Let's add those together. And I just picked up my phone calculator to do that since it's nothing too difficult to add together. That's a 2. I get 0.237 inches. And you'll see that's the same thing that was correct in my math lab.